What's up? What's the word?
I love it here. We gonna take over the year. Is your bestie, Miss Westy? Don't tryna test me. It's gonna get messy. It's gonna get messy. Just bless me. Bless me. It's your bestie, Miss Westy. Just tryna bless me. Just bless me. Bless me.
Insurance up, iced out all my ghetto hoes and turned into influencers. Smirkio, said that bitch is weak, got the who she for? That shit out her closet. What? She got on scammer hoes. Boots on they insurance up, iced out all.
Um, well, we can start the Northwest clip first. How did you like that being a mother
You
and
know
all?
what? I just feel like Northwest is our spirit animal that we never knew we needed. Um, a lot of people say she acts like Kanye, and they be giving Kim like some flack saying that she came to teach Kim a lesson. But if y'all have paid attention to Kim over the years, she acts just like Kim too. She is literally her parents' children. Like there is no, she's more than the other. She is her, because Kim is very honest too. Like if you watch the show, she's been very honest towards her family. So I think the little performance is cute. I feel like it is. I love that it's age appropriate because these days they be having these kids, especially these celebrity kids, sometimes be dressing inappropriately or just talking about things they're not supposed to be talking about. So I love that it was age appropriate. I love her personality. I feel like she's a star in her own right, and I cannot wait to see how she's gonna be as she gets older because I feel like she's gonna be so raw. What you think?
I like the record. I think it's dope that she's in this space with her pops. I could tell he needs it. You can tell he
Mhm.
needs it. Like his kids like to see her being authentic and free. So I think that's pretty dope. Now we just need the verses. We need Lil Adonis versus North. We need the verses on the
And then
track.
we need Blue Ivy, dancing. We
And
need
Blue
her
Ivy gonna be
somewhere in the
dancing. We need them.
dancing,
We need. Matter of fact, we don't need no verses. It's kids. We just need them to get on stage, give us a performance. You know what I'm saying? Lil Adonis come out with his My Man track that he
They
dropped.
gotta do a Kids Bop edition,
It's
like
got a
how
little
maybe
flow
Kids
to it,
Bop,
and we
Kanye
need.
produced by Kanye.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
would
With
love
Drake
to
on
see
the
that.
hook.
Cause hey, let's not forget Blue Ivy did hop on one of Jay's tracks, I think on 444. Yeah, she did.
I ain't listen. I ain't gonna listen.
But I ain't never seen a ceiling in my whole life. Like, come on, man. You better put some respect on Blue Ivy's name, okay?
She Blue Ivy just better hit that shit. Just tell Blue Ivy to hit that shit. She ain't gotta hit no rash. Now shout out to Blue man. I love the kids. Though. I remember Kanye a while back, and Kanye always used to mention like he loved his daughter because she's not programmed. So everything she
Mhm.
comes out is just authentic. Even like how people start talking about like how she becoming at Kim's clothing now. Kanye, it's an old interview. Kanye mentioned that he was doing some designer stuff with North, like playing with her, and she was telling him like, "If you don't get this right, that's why you're not gonna be a good designer." So she been like this as a kid. Like she's always been
She's
like
still
this.
like that. I just recently seen a clip with her on the Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and she was on top of it. The designer was like, "Dang, I just got ready to filth by a 10-year-old." So she's very much inclined fat. Like she is her parents' child. Like there's no other way to say that. She is fashionista. She could now she doing the whole music thing. Like, look,
But
I'm
let's
excited
take
to
but
see how she's gonna be.
so all right, so we're gonna shout out to Noah. Shout out to Noah, but another quick turn within that little session. So people was giving Kanye a little backlash for him wearing the black KKK hoodie. What you feel about that?
Well, I mean, are we surprised? Like at this point, are we surprised by this man's antics? Like, are we surprised that okay, you got to cut the little holes in the hood too?
How do you feel about they come cover like this?
I just feel like it's not a surprise. I don't have really, okay, he is all for shock value. This man's career has been built off of being going against the grain. So are we really surprised? I just feel like at this point, I don't have an opinion because Kanye gonna do what he gonna do. Like, and y'all gonna buy his music, stream it, and go to his concerts and all of that. So the
How do
man is
you
not canceling that man is not even a thing. There's
true?
no way you can cancel Kanye.
What's your thought process on it? I think Larry had Larry, you know what I'm saying, Larry Legend, friend of the show, one of the homies. He commented and was saying like somebody tweeted like, man, Kanye with this black hoodie mess, da da da. And then Larry kind of like, responded with like, yo, shit, Drake did a blackface and y'all still bought every album,
Mhm.
y'all didn't cancel him. So how do you feel about that?
I think he's exactly right. Like people, this is my thing is that at the end of the day, these artists be doing stuff just to get talked about. That's all it is. It's not. I don't even think even specifically with Kanye anymore. I mean, I think there were points in time where he was making political statements and he was trying to, get people to open their eyes about certain things. But I feel like certain things he's doing now, he's just doing it for shock value because he feel like doing it. And I think as far as the whole Drake thing, I mean, people. This is the thing is that it's Kanye, and the reality of the situation is that Kanye has always people have always had an opinion about Kanye. People have always, whatever he does, it's gonna get attention. Versus like a Drake, I mean, even with I feel like he did get backlash for that. Like he did get backlash. I don't know if he got canceled, but I know he definitely got backlash for that whole, blackface thing. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, Kanye gonna do what Kanye gonna do, and y'all gonna still stream his music too. And whoever at this point, I feel like these artists do things, and whatever they do, it don't matter if you don't agree with it. You're still gonna stream their music because you like their music, and that's just the bottom line.
This is true. So speaking of the music drops. I want to say on the 18th, right? I think the music it drops on the 18th or the 15th. But I believe DJ Ferris and Power 92. Shout out to the home team. Shout out to Big Bro. He's playing it early. I got my phone. I literally just got a text message that John Monopoly and Kanye approved that Ferris get to play the whole album on the radio before anybody. So
Which I think is super dope. Like we talked about this, I think last week, and we talked about how, or the week before, about just allowing our media. Like we talked for a long time about building the crib and what that looks like, and I feel like this is a great step in that direction. Ferris is a legend, so why would he not take it? Why would he not take it to Ferris and have Ferris play it? So I think that's a good move. I think that speaks volumes. One thing I will say is that Kanye, I don't know this, and this might be a little controversial, but I feel like Kanye uses Chicago when it's beneficial to him and when he feels like, when he, how can I, like when he needs us. And I feel like outside of that, he ain't talking about us.
explain.
This just what I said. He's not talking about us outside of when he needs us.
You
And
know
I
what I'm saying?
feel like
Explain. Give me another example when he just used us when he needs us.
when
Like
he
that's
came back here and said he was moving here and he was gonna do this, this, and this here, that man ain't been back since. Have you seen him? Because I ain't.
all right. So when you talking to somebody like Kanye West, right? And I can only say this because I can relate, and then also I had a conversation with him. So a
You had a
person like
conversation with Kanye?
yeah. So a
Okay.
person like Kanye is a type of person that he doesn't speak in the things and he when he's talking to you, he's really fleshing out everything in his brain and his thoughts that he want to do in real time. So it's a lot of times when he's talking to you, it's not really directed to you, or it's not even saying it's going to happen right then and there. You know what I mean? He's just being authentically just allowing himself to process what's in his head. And sometimes you know how they say everything you think you shouldn't say everything you think.
Hmm.
That's why he ended up putting himself in a lot of jams and a lot of situations because he just really just be processing his thoughts. And like I say, I say that to relate because I'll be sitting here and I have a spark and I have an idea or just it just flow out of me and I'll be talking. So whoever around is who I'm bouncing that off of, but doesn't mean what I'm saying is directed towards you or doesn't mean that this is going to happen in the near future. I could be saying like, yo, I want to do this. We gonna do this and do this and do that, but doesn't mean it's gonna happen in like 2 months. I could be thinking of something
But
that's
it's
gonna
been
be like
years though.
some
It's
years ago.
been years. It's been years.
Right. So it takes time. Like it takes time. Like we got to think about it. Kanye has a tree. Kanye has planted seeds throughout Chicago. He has he has people he's pulled up from Chicago making moves. Like he don't. It's like it might not be time for him to be back here yet. He probably doing some other things, but I think I think we're. I'm gonna ask you this:
Do you feel like his heart is in the right place?
what does what how does Kanye being in Chicago changes anything?
Well, I think presence. The same for the same. We can say this about people who live in their city that they come from and they make their moves in their city. New York is New York because New York artists are still there. So, in that aspect, I feel like your presence alone is going to change the way the industry is moving when it comes to Chicago. The media, how we, how we move in Chicago. Look at he's do this him going to Ferris is a clear example of that impact by simply doing that. So I feel like why would being here, why wouldn't it help more?
So what you just said really just it proves the point to the part why he doesn't have to be here to do that, right? Because your impact and the things you can do, you don't have to be present in the city to make an impact in the city. You just got to give people of those in the city a chance.
Not necessarily though, because if you are there more, okay, so maybe he don't move here, but if he's here more, then the if that one little impact of him coming and doing that one little thing, if he was consistently doing that, where would we be?
It has nothing to do with his presence. You got to think about it. It's a two-part thing, right? So the two-part fold to it is that okay, you as a fan and as an admirer of him, and not just saying you, but just people in general,
Yeah.
they want him here because he's Kanye. I want him here. I want him in Chicago, right? But the other part to that is that the business part of it. Chicago don't have the business and the infrastructure and the things, the resources he need to be Kanye. So he can't
But
be
why not? This man is a man, a creative genius, a visionary. He has the money. So why can't he do that himself then?
because
Why can't he build that?
it's more than just having the money. Like the infrastructure takes people. Prime example, right? I can give I can give I can get $100,000 today, right? And be like, yo, somebody can be like, yo, go, I want you to go, I'm gonna get this to what's the word, and y'all go make the top blog, right? But if we don't have an infrastructure for it and the right pieces in play or the culture, like how we just talked about how we changed the culture, the family and culture. If we didn't have that culture, we didn't have the systems, we didn't have this communication, we had to build, it will fail.
But building, that is where we're
That
speaking about a man who has
but that's
what
not on
decade
that
of
I
more than a
think
decade in this industry and
that's
had
not
no
on him to
family.
build. Like that's why when they
Why
say
not? Why not?
that's why when like you know when it's that Tupac quote when they say I might not change the world, but I will spark the brain of the person who's gonna change the world. So sometimes it's like, yo, my duties and my actions might spark the next person, or I put another person in position. So you know what I'm saying? I put these different curators, I put them in position, I build a tree, and they do the groundwork. They do this and they do that. You know what I
I
mean?
agree that you need other people to do that, but my question still lies in why can't he come here and start building that?
How
He
you know?
his
Yeah, how you know?
own money is gonna not work for him.
He's already have though. He
How do you
has
figure?
he's put people in, and this is just from my knowledge speaking, from things I've seen, the people I've been around, and I might not be right, and I might not be correct, but I've seen him put people in position. I've seen him give people jobs. I've seen him put bring people in rooms. I've seen him give Chance the Rapper the future. He's the future of music on fucking live stage at the MTV Awards. I've seen them do a lot of this shit. You know what I mean? So he's done it. He's did it. You know what I mean? But I can't speak on none of those people. But I
So do
do.
you feel like the people that he has put in position are not doing their jobs?
I was going to bring it to that because there's a lot of people in the Chicago way and our way of culture. When you start talking about infrastructure, you start talking about a way of culture. It's a lot of people that just they get in position to play and they don't make that shit. They don't trickle it down. They don't. They don't. They the sense of community is I got now I'm up. You know what I'm saying? It's you know what I mean. Like so,
But I also am a firm believer in you follow what your example is. So if he's putting these people in position and he's leaving and he's doing his thing, and then other people are getting in position and they're leaving and they're doing it's just a consistent cycle of the same thing.
But
So
that's what
that's
you
still in
supposed
the
to
end
do
kind of
though.
falls
You
on him.
supposed to get it. You supposed to get an opportunity to leave so you can get exposure to something else. And that's how you bring information back. You if you don't if there's no infrastructure and there's no ecosystem here, and you're only going off what you see here, right? So you're going to keep doing it wrong. So if I want to be the best at something, I have to go learn the best. So in this man's example, this man said he wants to be the best fashion designer, right? So he's going to spend the most time in Europe. He's going to spend his first time in LA. He's going to
That's
be in New
accurate.
York. He's going to be.
But
That's
at
what
what
he.
point, all right, we are again, I'm gonna go back to we are decades into his career now.
You can't put a. How can you put a
Like
timeline? How can you put a timeline on somebody's
the
vision?
man that he went to Europe, did the fashion
But
thing.
he's not
He was
done
in
though.
LA, he was in other countries
But
doing
he's not
music. So at
done
what
though.
point in
You you're
time,
putting a, you're putting a ti- you're playing God on somebody else's vision. You can't put no timeline on that. Like he's still not done. It's not working. But in the midst of him still
are
putting
we
out his
supposed
vision and still working, he has planted seeds and built other people up. And it's like if you get a chance, I want you to go watch the Joe Budden interview that Killer Mike did on there. And Killer Mike really explained the way how Atlanta works. Everybody always be talking about the A, but he kind of explained how Atlanta works because Atlanta works off community. So even how they're built is how they operate. You know what I mean? So if we operate off hustle, we operate off backdooring, and we operate off that on our everyday life, how you think we're gonna operate in business? That's just when they say like, yo, I don't want to get in business with my family. The reason why you don't want to get in business with your family because you see how your family operate on a daily basis. You see how they operate with money. You see how responsible they are, stuff like that. But if your family members are people that you know that take care of business, they operate a certain way, you would do shit with them. And I say that all based off just see if you ever want to do some research, do the research on how Barry Gordy started Motown Records, the empire of Motown. Like you know what I mean? He started Motown off a loan that his family gave him because they had a trust within their family from his mom, his brothers, his sisters. Everybody had to sit down. He had to send them a pitch. He had to sit there and pitch to them a proposal like this is what he want to do with this record label. And they had a family account and everybody had to vote on it. And once they voted on it, he had to pay that money that they get him back with interest. But when you see
mhm.
how your family operate, you can trust to do business with them. Our culture within the city, we don't operate like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's
So
like
you feel like that's the reason why he is
that's the
possibly
reason why it's not a flow. Because
mm,
if I get on, right, prime example, right, when I get on, right, so if I'm on, if I'm moving around and shaking it in these rooms as I'm doing stuff, whatever I'm doing, right, Jay, you gonna get on, right? So it's gonna be a position that's something that it's something that I can't do, but a Jay gonna be there, or a Cindy gonna be there, or a Shay gonna be there. So the next thing for you to do now, once you moving around and how you moving around, is
is
put the
redo
next
that.
person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But
I understand
it's
that.
not on me to keep going back and getting the next person. I put Jay on, Jay, you trickle down to get the next person. And then that person, your mentee, whoever they build it up. And it's a sense of community and coaching. Then we come together and we share resources, we share bags. That's not Chicago. And I know we got to get tired as guests, but if you just being real, like I can count on my one hand out of all these people in the Chicago community that threw me a play.
Mm.
People that like we don't throw it.
I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely not here.
Yeah, they don't throw
I've
plays.
got more work done in another city than here. So
Yeah. That's why you love New York so much. You always going to New York. I can count on how many times I've been in Chicago and somebody in Chicago threw me a play. And all the plays I got is probably from the same people.
yeah.
The same one or two people that throw me a play like, here go some money for this, here go for this, I mention you for this. It'd be the same people. So
So
that,
we
but
need
that's
to change,
Chicago. That's how we
change
operate.
the community. We need to change the community. Everybody that's moving in this city, we got to do better.
Gotta do
What you
better.
say?
Hey, what's up? What's the